Hi, my name is Tina, and I'm doing a rebuttal to MacLean's Too Asian article, or more appropriate title, The Enrollment Controversy, which, if you look at the updated article on the website, it still has images of China. So, I'm not really sure what was the point of renaming the article, to be honest. I have a few issues with this article, and the first one is that it generalizes Asian way too much. Asian itself is a very broad term. I mean, there are Indians, Japanese, Korean, Malaysian, Filipinos, and even Russian. But the article seems to point fingers at only one ethnicity. Can you guess which one? Chinese! I would like to mention that not only is Asian a really broad term, but so is Chinese. Chinese is the most populous self-identified minority in Canada at 3%, and with a population of 35 million, that's just under 100,000, or actually, sorry, 1 million Chinese Canadians in Canada. And within the Chinese community in Canada, there are numerous types of Chinese Canadians. I mean, an article doesn't distinguish between any Chinese. I mean, there's Canadian-born Chinese, second, third, fourth generation Chinese, international students from China, recent immigrants, and there are a lot more different types of subtypes of Chinese people. All these different types of people have different upbringings. I mean, for example, I am Chinese-born Canadian, and I have never been to China or Hong Kong. And I don't really have any cultural ties to China, culturally, except for that my family does Chinese New Year's, and it really is just a family dinner where my aunts and uncles give me red pocket. This article generalizes and states that Asian students work harder, and this is born out of hard data. They tend to be strivers, high achievers, and single-minded in their approach to university. I will admit that I did come to UBC because I felt pressure from my family. I guess in that sense I fit the stereotype of being too Asian, but luckily I got in. But honestly, I came to UBC for the university experience and the social experience. I mean, since I've been here, it's my 4th year, I've been involved with UBC orientation, UBC Greek life, and various types of AMS clubs and organizations. And I hate to admit it, but since I've gotten into UBC, I haven't had an average past 70%. And I know many other students like me, so how can this article be so cookie cutter about Asians? Another example why this article generalizes when it shouldn't generalize is that in first year I joined a Chinese-based club name that I wouldn't mention. I went to the first icebreaker in September, and I realized how whitewashed I was. I didn't get a lot of the humor, even though I'm pretty fluent in Cantonese. I wasn't able to get all the idioms and whatnot, and I also wasn't really familiar with any of the celebrities, the media, and the sports. But there were people there that weren't of Chinese ethnicity, and they were able to get the humor, they were able to communicate, they knew the media, they knew the celebrities, and that's just to point out that, you know, just because it's a Chinese club, it doesn't mean they have these set barriers based on ethnicity. I'm going to stop revealing now, but that was just to prove that just within the term Asian, there is a lot of different subtypes, and the MacLean article just generalized way too much. The second issue I had with this article was that it also generalized white people too much. And it's funny in a way, because not only did it generalize white people as laid back and partiers, but even to the extent that they weren't capable of competing against Asians. So it was not only offensive to Asians, but also white people. In fact, I have a lot of white friends who study really hard, and if you don't see the color of their skin, they could be easily labeled as Asian based on this article's criteria of what an Asian is. My final issue with this article is that it neglected that Canada is a multicultural nation, and we have other ethnicities as well. So great job, MacLean, for ignoring the blacks, the Hispanics, the Jewish, and the Filipinos, the Europeans, and etc. Like, there are so many ethnicities in Canada, so it's not just Asians and whites. Sorry. But I will give article points in that it did stir controversy, and when it came out, it was, my Facebook was going crazy from all my friends posting and reposting and commenting and whatnot. So that's all I have to say about article, and thanks for listening. Bye.